Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out the Film Geek. Today I'm talking about the 2019 film, The Lighthouse.
That's the trouble with you.
That's the trouble with ye.
With you!
With ye!
No! No! I want a steak! I want a goddamn steak! If I had a steak, oh boy, a rare, a bloody steak. If I had a steak, I would fuck it.
The Lighthouse is directed by Robert Eggers, and it's starring Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson. Two lighthouse keepers try to keep their sanity while living on a small remote island in the 1890s. The Lighthouse was written by Robert Eggers and his brother Max Eggers, and originally the film was going to be a take on the Edgar Allan Poe unfinished story, The Lighthouse. Adapting the story proved to be difficult, and the project evolved into a period horror thriller with the Poe elements largely removed. Dafoe and Pattinson were cast in February of 2018. Principal photography began in April around the Canadian province of Nova Scotia. The Lighthouse premiered at the 72nd Cannes Film Festival on May 19, 2019, and was released theatrically in the United States on October 18, 2019. The film went on to gross $18 million worldwide on an $11 million budget. So the film wasn't a massive financial success, but it wasn't a financial flop either. Critics enjoyed this film immensely, praising the performances of both Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson, and it is sitting on the tomatoes that aren't so rotten at a 90%. So what do I like about this movie? Well, this movie excels at not just being an extremely creepy and anxiety-ridden horror film, it's also an extremely great period piece, character piece, whatever you want to call it. Let's just say the acting in this movie is downright outstanding. The film isn't just one big downer, there's also some pretty good laugh out loud moments that occur between the two characters as they slowly go bonkers. This film also keeps you guessing about who actually is telling the truth in this film. Because of the subject matter of two men going insane slowly over time, you really don't know which one of them is telling the truth. One of them seems to have a grasp of what's going on, but then the other character begins to gaslight, or maybe it's the other way around. You really never know until the very end, and then honestly, you still really don't know. This film also just gives you an overwhelming feeling of dread from beginning to end. You see, in most horror films, the fear works in a jump scare or something where you have just a momentary oh kind of moment and then you giggle about it and you have a good time. This is the kind of movie that just makes you feel downright creeped out from beginning to end. You just keep waiting for a jump scare to happen, but it never does. There's not one jump scare in this entire movie, but the movie makes you feel like at any given time something is just gonna jump out of somewhere and slice someone's head off, but it never happens. This film is basically just a suspense-filled Hitchcockian type of film that keeps you guessing till the very end on what exactly is going on. And then at the end of the movie, you still kind of go, okay, so what? So if you're curious and you want to check out The Lighthouse and you have a subscription to Amazon Prime, well, good news, it's streaming for free right now. If you don't have a subscription to Prime, don't worry, you can rent it on Prime, or you can rent it on YouTube, Google Movies, or Vudu. Alright guys, that brings us to the end of another Film Geek video. If you liked what you saw here today, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications, and give me the old thumbs up so I know you like what you're seeing. And if there's another thing you could do, folks, that is keep watching movies. You know I'm gonna.